Here in the U.S., there are at least 230 confirmed cases across 21 states, including Nevada and Colorado, which reported their first cases yesterday. At least 12 people have died. Almost all of them have been in Washington state. And this comes as officials are testing cruise ship passengers stranded just 70 miles off the coast of San Francisco. Naomi Ruchim is joining me now with more on what's going on. What has the government response been? Because these numbers are ticking up.
Right. The government trying to respond as quickly as they can. They've had a few weeks since we knew about this all starting, but now that it's hit the U.S., where do they turn from here? The Senate has now approved a more than $8 billion emergency spending bill to respond to the outbreak. And Vice President Mike Pence, who is leading the country's response, says President Trump will sign that bill today. But Pence also admitted there is a shortage of test kits to verify who does or does not have the virus. The Grand Princess and its 3,500 passengers and crew are stranded off the coast of San Francisco.
And we have crew constantly cleaning our ship.
Over fears some of them are infected with coronavirus.
I definitely feel like we've been kept in the dark a little bit. I'm not sure if they're just trying not to, scare people.
Yesterday, the California National Guard flew test kits to the Grand Princess. A passenger who had been on the ship last month died from coronavirus. Now, about 36 people are showing flu-like symptoms. Test results should come later today.
Once we have results from the tests, the CDC and the state will determine the most appropriate location for the ship to berth.
The World Health Organization called on countries to take the outbreak seriously.
This is a time for pulling out all the stops.
President Trump praised his administration's actions.
It's going to all work out. Everybody has to be calm.
While Vice President Mike Pence acknowledged there is still work to be done.
We don't have enough tests today to meet what we anticipate will be the demand.
In Kirkland, Washington, at least 8 residents at a nursing home have died.
I'm calling it a petri dish.
Family members are demanding accountability.
We're continually told that our loved ones are safe in this establishment. I want Mike Pence to come and sit with my father-in-law.
Pence called Washington the front line of the outbreak and pledged the administration's full support.
All right, so workplaces are trying to contain this. What's happening?
Well, a lot of workplaces are asking their employees to work from home if they can, especially out on the West Coast. Seattle, they had 2 Microsoft employees contract the virus. So places like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, they've all now given employees permission and, in fact, encouraged them to stay home. Some of their Seattle offices, in fact, are closed altogether.
And I know in some of the other countries like Italy, where there really is a problem, they've just shut down schools for 2 weeks. What's happening with schools here?
Well, schools, of course, have a difficult decision to make. We think about this when we talk about snow days. When they call off school, parents have to stay home. And where do all those kids end up going? Will it necessarily stop the virus from spreading?
Right.
So we haven't seen too many school closures here, although just yesterday, a huge district just outside Seattle, 20,000 students, is now closing for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we'll have to see what happens from here. But you know what these administrators go through when making these tough decisions.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. But if it's for the sake of our health, I guess it's a good call. Thank you so much, Naomi.
Thank you.